Stephen Sondheim, American musical theater icon, has died at age 91. A Broadway master has moved on. Composer and lyricist Stephen Sondheim, the most respected figure in American musical theater, died earlier today. He was 91. His shows range from the vaudeville-inspired romp, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, Mandy Patinkin, as George, singing, bit by bit, putting it together piece by piece, only way to make a work of art. Cornish, it would be hard to overstate Stephen Sondheim's influence on Broadway form or on critic Bob Mondello, who offers this remembrance. Bob Mondello, byline, at the climax of most musicals, characters sing their hearts out about enchanted evenings, or defying gravity, or what I did for love. Sondheim characters sing about ambivalence, about feeling conflicted. Mondello, this is Bobby and Company, the musical that established the Sondheim template back in 1970. Not his first show, but the first big hit in which his characters sing less to move the action forward than to offer a sort of psychological profile. Bobby is afraid to commit. He looks at his friends' marriages and cringes. Still, he wants what they have. Kurt, as Bobby, singing Somebody Need Me Too Much. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support. Mondello, this is not the way most musicals wrap things up, but Sondheim shows almost always send audiences out not just singing but thinking about everything from the westernization of Japan, in Pacific Overture's L.E.N. Caryu, as Sweeney Todd, singing, there's a hole in the world like a great black pit, and the vermin of the world inhabit it. And its morals aren't worth what a pig could spit. And it goes by the name of London. Unidentified actor as the baker, singing, Into the Woods. It's always when you think at last you're through. And then into the woods you go again to take another journey. Soundbite of song, Last Midnight. Mondello, the first act of this fairy tale show, gives us fables like Red Riding Hood and Jack, and the Beanstalk more or less straight. Basically what you expect of musical comedy. The second act has princes who are terrible husbands, witches who may be nasty but know things. Bernadette Peters, singing, You're so nice, you're not good, you're not bad, you're just nice. I'm not good, I'm not nice, I'm just right, I'm the witch, you're the world. Mondello, that's Sondheim puzzling out on stage how the world works. Puzzling is the right word. A lover of brain teasers and games, Sondheim delighted in turning the Broadway musical into a playground for thinkers. When you hear Moon June croon lyrics in one of his shows, they're probably a joke. Tricky interior rhymes are more his thing. Say, we have so much in common, it's a phenomenon, a line written for another composer's music early in his career, as were his lyrics for Leonard Bernstein's semi-symphonic West Side Story. Mondello. It was a show that both established Sondheim as a lyricist and gave him a pet peeve about the way sophisticated music tends to be received on Broadway. He joked about it in the only song he ever called autobiographical. Here from an HBO special, Sondheim doubles the joke by stepping into the role of a producer in Merrily We Roll Along and growling the thing people kept telling him back when he was starting out. Stephen Sondheim, singing, It isn't every day I hear a score this strong. But fellas, if I may, there's only one thing wrong. There's not a tune you can hum. There's not a tune you go bump, bump, bump. Mondello. When he finally hums what the character thinks is a hummable melody, it's Rodgers and Hammerstein's Some Enchanted Evening. That's an in-joke because in real life, lyricist Oscar Hammerstein Jr. was Sondheim's mentor. In the 1940s, when the budding songwriter was just a kid, Rodgers and Hammerstein were transforming Broadway's lighthearted song and dance shows into musical plays. Sondheim later took that evolution a step further. His musicals were structured around concept. The show Follies, for instance Mondello, and in what is arguably Sondheim's masterwork, Sweeney Todd, he mixed operatic form and musical comedy jokes to tell the story of a demon barber who slashes his customers' throats and a baker Mondello. though the things Sondheim was doing were hugely influential with other Broadway composers. Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton, for instance, couldn't have been conceived without the building blocks Sondheim helped develop. Audiences didn't always get his shows. He never had a mega-hit musical, and Send in the Clowns was his only hit song. But he was revered in the theatrical establishment for teaching and mentoring, sharing his smarts and making the form he loved smarter. He was loved by some of us outsiders, too. To a large extent, Stephen Sondheim wrote the soundtrack to my life. Mendello, Sunday in the Park,